Today I want to talk to you about something that should be obvious, something that shouldn't require legislation, but sadly does. A new bill filed in Georgia, House Bill 1117, proposes straightforward protection for people with auto insurance claims. At first glance, this might sound like legal jargon, a state bill working its way through a legislature on the other side of the country. But what's happening in Georgia matters to every car owner, every policyholder, and every family that trusts their insurance to do what it promised. Because the issues behind this bill aren't unique to Georgia. They're happening nationwide, right here in Colorado and across America, where insurance companies get more focused on profits than proper repair. We're going to unlock several parts of this proposed bill, what it would require, why it's so important, and what it tells us about how the insurance industry is operating today. One of the central elements of this bill is simple. Written into the law would be the right for a claimant, that's you, the person whose car was damaged, to choose the repair facility that fixes your vehicle. Right now, insurance companies often try to influence that choice. They use language, suggestions, or even subtle pressure to steer you towards a shop that they prefer. Sometimes that's a shop that the insurer has a financial interest in. Sometimes it's a shop that cuts corners on procedures or parts. Either way, the result is the same. Your repair may cost you quality and safety. House Bill 1117 would make it a violation for insurers to tell you that you have to use a specific shop, imply that your claim won't be paid or paid in full if you don't go to where they say, or suggest that a recommendation is anything other than just a suggestion. Insurance companies would be required to afford you the same coverage amount no matter which shop you pick and disclose any financial interest that they have in the shops that they recommend. This may sound logical, like the bare minimum of fairness, because it is. But consumer advocacy groups and collision repair professionals in Georgia say that this protection has become necessary because insurers have been pressuring claimants and too many policyholders don't know that they have the right to pick their own shop. Another major provision in the bill tackles what actually happens during repair. OEM, or Original Equipment Manufacturer, repair procedures are the standards set by automakers for how a vehicle should be repaired after a collision. These procedures cover everything from parts and labor to calibrations, scanning, materials, and sublet operations. House Bill 1117 would require policies to clearly state that all repairs must be performed according to these OEM procedures. It would ban insurers from mandating deviations, omissions, or shortcuts when it comes to documented repair requirements. When insurers push for non-OEM parts or alternate procedures, they often justify it as cost savings. But saving money for the insurer should never come at the expense of safety, durability, or long-term performance. Advanced driver assist systems, calibrated sensors, structural reinforcements engineered to protect your family. Any deviation from manufactured procedures, especially without full disclosure and justification, can compromise that engineering. Under the proposed bill, if an insurer does deny specific OEM procedures, they would have to provide a written, itemized explanation in advance, laying out exactly why the denial fits within policy coverage limitations or applicable law. An area of real frustration for many consumers is what happens after an initial estimate is written. When a shop finds additional damage, known as a supplemental estimate, many insurers delay. House Bill 1117 would require insurers to respond within strict timelines, assign an appraiser or begin review within 1 business day, complete the estimate review or inspection within 3 business days, and provide a written, itemized decision, including explanations for denied, altered, or reduced line items within 10 business days. These timelines are intended to protect vehicle owners from being stuck waiting indefinitely while repair costs pile up or the vehicle just sits unrepaired. Educated consumers know that delays in supplemental approvals often lead to increased rental costs, safety risks if the vehicle isn't repaired correctly, and undue stress on families. Finally, what makes this bill more than just good intentions is accountability. If passed, the bill would allow anyone who believes these rules have been violated to take legal action, including injunctive relief and triple damages. It would also empower the state's insurance commissioner to establish regulations and penalties. This is significant because frequent unfair practices only stop when there are real consequences. A policyholder shouldn't have to guess if a carrier is following the rules. They should have legal recourse when they're not. So what do we do with all this? Why is legislation like this even needed? Here are the realities behind this bill. Number one, insurance profits are up, and so is resistance to paying full, correct claims. Insurers are under pressure to return profits to their shareholders. That pressure grows in every claim that they handle. Consumer protections should not have to be invented because companies are maximizing short-term profits at the expense of proper repairs. Number two, the policyholder's interests and the insurer's interests are not always aligned. Your insurance policy is your contract, but too often insurers treat it as their budget. Consumers need protections that reaffirm that the policy exists to benefit the policyholder, not to be manipulated just to cut costs. And number three, consumers need transparency, not ambiguity. Whether selecting your repair shop, understanding how your vehicle is going to be repaired, or waiting on a supplemental estimate, you deserve clarity, communication, and timelines. No guessing, no pressure, no smoke and mirrors. And while this bill is in Georgia, the dynamics it addresses are universal. We regularly hear from guests in Colorado and across the country who report similar issues being steered towards certain shops, surprise denials of OEM procedures, disputable supplemental delays. Oh, and don't forget a general feeling that their policy coverage is being interpreted against them. This proposed legislation recognizes that common sense needs to be codified when the industry won't voluntarily adopt it. And here's the bottom line for every vehicle owner and every person with an auto insurance policy. You have the right to choose your repair facility. You are entitled to repairs done according to manufacturer procedures. You should not be left waiting for answers on supplemental damage. You deserve clear explanations when coverage decisions are made. These conditions shouldn't need a bill to protect them, but they do because too many consumers discover these rights only after a claim dispute. Legislation like House Bill 1117 shines a spotlight on what should already be the best practice. As consumers, we must stay informed, hold your insurers accountable, and insist that your vehicle and your safety is not secondary to a bottom line. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the Airing of Grievances. If you've had an experience with a claim that felt unfair, tell your story. The more consumers understand their rights, the more likely the industry will have to meet those standards in practice, not just on paper. My name is Eric. Thanks again for watching. Rob will be back next week. We appreciate you so much. God bless. Have a great Saturday.